What do you got? The Players Association? What is that? I can't read it. It's backward.
That's right. MLB players.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you knew that, but I used to play a little ball, Chris.
You know what? I never saw proof of it, but I've heard rumors.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're drawing a line in the sand. Don't worry. I'm not management, by the way. We don't have to battle.
Oh, but people know my line. There's no line. It's open. There, baby.
All right, let's get to it. We didn't even mention this on yesterday's show, so shame on me for not bringing up the topic. But the Dodgers and the Padres did battle for the first time in about 7 weeks or so. Padres behind Yu Darvish, who was fantastic last night, and homers from Machado and Cronenworth got it done in the series opener. Dodgers, they are 2.5 back of the Giants two back of the Giants in the West. The Padres are 2.5 back of the Dodgers now for second place. But give me the percentage chance that San Diego finishes the year ahead of Los Angeles in the National League West standings.
Percentage chance. This is a tough one. I mean, I don't know. I'll give them a 25% chance they finish above LA.
Okay.
I will say this. I think LA just has a little bit more depth all the way around. They need to get their guys back. Muncy's hurt, Seager's hurt, Belly's hurt. Get those guys back. I'm assuming both teams are at full capacity come September. I think LA is just a little bit deeper. But put these guys in a 7-game series against each other, and your guess is as good as mine. Those top 3 starters for each team going against each other, the lineups banging against each other, the stadiums going up against each other, the fan bases. I think it's going to be a hell of a matchup if we do get to see that. But I think overall, the whole season, I think the Dodgers end up on top of the NL West.
So I'll give it a slightly better chance. I would say about 35%. So I'm going to up it 10%. The Padres so far have won 5 of 8 matchups. To me, the key guy going tonight for the Padres, you got Blake Snell on the mound, and none of us can figure out what's going on with him. Over 6 ERA in May, over 6 ERA in June. Now, he's been picked up nicely. Chris Paddock has seemed to return to form. Joe Musgrove has pitched exceptionally well, and Lamet is back, and they continue to stretch him out. So he and Darvish are going to be a phenomenal 1-2 punch. You talked about the injuries. Dodgers expect to get Muncy back tonight, Bellinger back tomorrow. Seager sounds like he's going to go on a rehab assignment next week. If you look at the Padres, Austin Nola could be back by early July. And then the guy that, to me, that is very important for them, but we haven't talked about him because he hasn't been there, is Drew Pomeranz.
Sure.
That guy has been money out of the bullpen. And he's coming back, I think, from a lat injury, and those are tricky with pitchers. But they hope to get him back maybe right after the All-Star break. So if you're looking at both teams full strength, I still give the Dodgers a 2-1 edge, roughly. But I like what I'm seeing out of San Diego. That joint was jumping last night, dude. It was fun.
That's what I'm saying. Someone in the chat was like, since when do we talk about Padres fans? Well, now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have watched any freaking games down in Petco since it's been full capacity. The place has been rocking.
Yep.
I like both teams a lot.
They do the little flicker thing when they hit a home run, just like they do at Yankee Stadium, where the lights go in and out. That always creeps me out. If you're a fan or a player on the visiting team, right? You're like, what the hell is going on around here?
It's pretty badass. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. All right, let's move on. My Cleveland Indians, a 4-0 winner on the north side of Chicago against the Cubs. But the big news that came out of that was that Javy Baez was benched. Base running snafu. He lost track of how many outs, and on a routine fly ball to left, he thought there were 2 outs. He kept running. Instead, there was only 1 out at the time. He got doubled up to end the inning. David Ross came over and said, hey, son, why don't you take the rest of the day off? He did. Is this a big deal or not?
I don't think it's a big deal. And at first look, I thought it wasn't a great move by Ross just because of who it was.
Really?
The guy that plays really hard all the time. So there are times where this is going to happen, dude. Like it looks really stupid, but sometimes you're just going to forget how many outs there are. And I don't care that he didn't try to make it back to first base. The guy was halfway to third base. All they had to do was throw it to first. Trying to hustle back like that is just asking to get hurt. I don't care about it. What I do think really happens, I started to read a little bit more into the situation and the quotes after the game. They've been struggling a little bit. They're in first place, but they've had a little bit of a lull here, and now they're going on this big road trip out to LA. And I think this is Rossi trying to send a message like, look, we need to be perfect. If we want to keep the boys together, we have to be perfect, and we can't have this. I think he probably took Javy aside like after the game too and was like, dude, I didn't want to do that, but I believe me doing it to you especially will get the boys fired up. So after all was said and done, I think it's going to be no issue. And I think maybe what he wants to happen, which is to keep the boys laser focused, I think he probably sent the message.
You know what? It's interesting. Here's the Ross quote. I'm not trying to set an example of Javy ever. The guy plays his butt off and brings in 99.9% of the time. It's not about setting an example for a star player that's as big a part of the team. He'll be better for it tomorrow. We'll all be better for it. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I did like. He went up to him. He didn't berate him in the dugout. He set him down. And the thing I liked more is that Baez put his sweatshirt on and came back out.
Sure.
He didn't pout. He's a pro. He got out there. Listen, there's been times where Javy Baez has had some mental lapses over the years, and we've known that. This is one, to me, that's inexcusable. Like my 15-year-old said, Dad, doesn't it say on the big board how many outs there are? Like, why should you not know how many outs? I said, that's a good question. So, Mr. Plouffe, how do you not know how many outs there are?
It just happens. I can't say anything about this, Chris. I've had it happen to me. So,
but I suppose the question is, how do you just lose?
Dude,
you daydream or what?
You play thousands of innings every single year. And whether it's, maybe he was thinking about his at-bat or something else. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes the board is wrong, too. I'm not saying it was yesterday.
Okay.
I'm just saying things happen over that many innings played. And if you have a guy that's habitual with it or like is dogging it day in and day out, then you go make an example of him. I really think Rossi – and I know he didn't say this out loud, but I think he did single him out, saying, "Look, this is a great teaching moment and a great time to a good guy to go after to send the message I want to send."
Yeah, it's interesting. By the way, somebody just put in the chat that Plouffe on-field slacker confirmed. It's funny.
I did it. I did it when I should not. I had to be laser focused at that time because I was a scrub, and I still did it.
By the way, there was something weird going on that inning with Baez because he got on first and he wasn't taking leads. It was like he was playing Little League where you can't leave until the ball passes the plate and ends up in the catcher's mitt. There was something going on that inning, and I don't know what it was. I know he's struggled immensely lately, but still, it was really weird. There was something going on. Hopefully,
we don't know the whole story. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully for my Indians who have no starting pitching, by the way, after Savali left with an injured digit, hopefully they can figure out something there. The ump started checking for substances yesterday. How do you think it went?
I didn't see too much of it, but I kind of searched through my Twitter and to see if anybody was complaining about it, and it didn't seem like anybody was complaining about it. It didn't seem like it interrupted the flow of the game, so I think it's fine. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's a hassle for him and the pitchers. Like DeGrom having to show his belt and take his belt off is kind of a silly video clip, but I think it went fine. As long as it doesn't make the game longer or cause any effect like that.
Right. So it was interesting. DeGrom was the first guy to go, obviously, because he pitched the first game at Citi Field in the afternoon. And they were like, okay, well, he's making more history, so why not DeGrom? And then they were like, well, we thought maybe they'd do it to him in the dugout, but they want it to be very public. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it when the guy comes off the field, just do it on the field. Yeah. And it's not going to become a big deal until somebody gets nabbed. So that's all. I thought it went fine. It looked a little uncomfortable, like you're turning over your hat and you're showing people your belt, and it was a little weird, a little awkward, but it was fine.
It was. The umpires don't want to do it either. You can tell, they're uncomfortable doing it just because.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to go up to someone and basically you're saying, you guys are cheaters. I need to make sure you're not cheating.
Right.
But, hey, they put themselves in this position, Chris.
Certainly did. Okay, up next, it's Wander Day. Wander Franco, the number one prospect in all of baseball, will make his major league debut tonight at home against the Boston Red Sox. Are you more excited for that or more disappointed that Byron Buxton, 3 games off the injured list, breaks his wrist and is done for the foreseeable future?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am excited for Wander Day, but it is heartbreaking to see Buxton have to go back on the IL. And I think they called it a boxer's fracture. It's his 5th metatarsal on his hand. Nothing he could do about it. And, I just hate that people label him as injury prone. There's just things you can't avoid. The guy plays hard. Sometimes that's going to happen. And then an errant fastball to break your hand is something you just can't avoid. And if you look at his he's 110 plate appearances this year, Chris. 110. 10 homers, 11 doubles. He's 1 dot in his OPS. I mean, the guy has just been on a crazy pace. And when he's on the field, he's one of the best players in the big leagues, like one of the best players in the big leagues. We need to see Byron out there. So I'm heartbroken because the Twins also, 5-6 game winning streak? Like they could get going with him in the lineup. They could get going, and now at least they had a chance, Chris. They're not the Dbacks, all right? They're not the D-backs.
Come on now.
Okay, so I'm very, very sad to see Byron, and I send him all the best wishes, man.
That's nice. I'll tell you what's interesting is that he keeps approaching free agency in big numbers faster. Do they have enough information to extend him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
And I would say right now they should try to get him on a discount. This guy, like I just said, he's one of the best players in the big leagues.
Yeah, he is awesome to watch. He's really figured it out. I can't get enough of Wander Franco. I've been reading every article I can. The kid seems fascinating. The thing I love most is that when he made mistakes in the minor leagues, they said he corrected them immediately, whether it was a hustle play or something he was doing in the field or even making an adjustment at bat. To do that at 20 years old is something special. So this kid is major league ready. I know I got super excited and jumped out of my skin when Jared Kelenic made his debut, hit a home run his first weekend against the Indians. He had all the drip and all the swag of a major leaguer, and then he stunk. And then he got sent down, and you laughed at me, and just like you're doing right now. But you know what? That is not the way it's going to roll for Wander Franco. He is going to be the guy. I don't know where he's going to play in the field. They can move him all over. I think he's a stud. It wouldn't shock me to see him go deep in his first series against the Red Sox. And I'm just telling you right now, I'm not much for hyperbole. He is it. I've been waiting for him for a while. I'm happy they finally pulled the trigger.
I like that. I like that you said that he makes adjustments quickly. I also saw a stat where he had more walks than strikeouts in the minor leagues. So that's very telling for a young hitter. Like I said, he just turned 20 years old. Mm-hmm. To be able to command the strike zone like that. That's what Juan Soto does. That's why he's such a good hitter. So when you're getting compared to a guy like Juan Soto, we're ready for you.
All right, last one. I'm wearing my Diamondbacks hat today because for the first time in 3 weeks, they are victorious. 17-game losing streak. Bye-bye as they take care of the Milwaukee Brewers on Monday night. They stayed in the clubhouse. They celebrated a little longer than usual. Should they have? Or should they have just said, okay, we got the W, let's take a deep breath, that's cool, and we'll move on to tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's awkward. It's awkward. What are you supposed to do, there? You're obviously very happy that you got a W because it's been a long damn time. That takes a lot of pressure off them now. I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's just really – it's tough to know how to act in that situation, okay? So I think they handled it just fine. It's going to be a long year for them. There's probably going to be another – double-digit losing streak. They're a tough division. They don't have the horses, man. And then they also have the curse of talking Jake. So it's just really going to be tough for them the rest of the year. But I'm happy they got this W.
I mean, the minute that Jake started showing an interest in that team, and then came down and met everybody at a game, and then got to deliver the lineup on social media, they just should have started selling everything in the building. Because the minute that guy touches something, it's over. It's not like if they brought Jimmy down there. For God's sakes, Jake is your team mascot?
That's where they should have made him the mascot instead of like an honorary namesake of their team. Just make him the mascot. He's good at that. He's good at making people laugh.
Yeah, that's true. So they should have put him in the Baxter uniform. Baxter's one of my favorite mascots, by the way. That thing can get it done. So they just should have created like a furry-looking Jake, like with an oversized Jake Sucks head.
I don't want to pour too much onto old Jakey here, but he doesn't even need a costume. The guy's a walking mascot. So,
are you saying like he's a human bobblehead where his head is just
pretty much
3 times larger than it should be on his body?
His body's perfect for that.
Yeah. Although it looks like he's been lifting a little bit more. He got swole on us.
He's got some good calves. I'll give him that.
He's got good calves. That's what it's all about. He's got the Mike Aviles calves.
Ooh, does he have good calves?
Aviles?
I haven't noticed.
Oh, go check them out. They're ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah, that was his thing, was that he used to show them off. All right, what do you have working on John Boy Media today?
We're pre-recording our Talking Baseball episode that'll premiere tomorrow. And then I got a sequence episode coming out today. I think it comes out at like noon Pacific, 3 Eastern.
Okay.
What about you?
So I recorded the Alex Verdugo episode yesterday. It was just a one-on-one chat. We just couldn't match up time-wise a co-host with him, and he was phenomenal. I mean, people have seen him. They've heard him mic'd up. He is all about bringing the energy. He's got some amazing stories, and the episode's coming out tomorrow, and I don't want to give this away. You will not believe what he wants to do at the major league level. He has put a task ahead of himself where he feels like in a couple of years he can pull something off, and I don't know if he can do it, but he talked about it immensely. So
that's a tease right there. It's a tease.
I'm just telling you, it is fun. He had a blast. We chopped it up for like 50 minutes. He was great. He was energetic. It's good stuff. It's coming out.
So you've been doing great, man. That's such a fun listen, dude.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it. The guys have been really good. The guests we've gotten have been great. And the co-hosts are they're all in, man. And by the way, we need a little help. Stephen Brault wants a new homework assignment. And so it's up to our social media world to give him one. If we pick your assignment, you'll get some John Boy Media merch. So there you go. Send it in. You can find it on Rose Rotation. Follow us and leave a suggestion there. Okay? Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your Baseball Tuesday, everyone.
See you guys.